Hi there. In this video, you are going to learn about the fundamental aspect of Python, that is data structure in Python. I know it sounds complicated and you might feel overwhelmed by it, but I will make it very simple for you to understand. What are data structures? Imagine you have a room and in the room you have things lying all over the place. Now you want to assemble and arrange them into different boxes and sleeves and baskets. So in Python, data structure is like those boxes and sleeves and baskets which help us in managing efficiently the data. So that is our Python data structure. Types of data structure in Python. Python has wide variety of data structures with each of them being unique and having their own properties. We will look at top 4 of them. So let's jump into the code. First one we are going to see is the list. So in order to declare a list, let's say I am calling it as my list, and for that we have to put the things under square bracket. Okay, so let's say our list consists of numbers. So 1 comma 2 comma 3 4 etc 5 and so on. So to have data in the list, we have to put it by comma separated, and if you want to become a better Python developer, you can of course put a space after this like this. And this is our first list, our first data structure, that is list. Now let's say you want to have strings or you want to have different types of fruits in this list. So for that we will declare another list and I will call it as fruits, and this will be also list. Let's say apple is the first fruit, then banana, and so on. So like this we can have different types of list which consist of different types of data structure. We can also have a list which consists of both mixture of data structure data types, that is like number and this also mix. So let's do that. I'll call it as third list, and we will say it has one, then it has apple, etc. Okay, so like this we can have different data types in a list. Now you might be wondering how to use the list. Let's say we have this list, right? Okay, I'll comment these two, and in this list I want to add data or like remove data. So how to do that? In order to do so, all we have to say is my list dot append. So it will append a data. I will append 6 over here. This is bothering me, so let me fix this. Let's print this first. Okay, I'm going to say python 3 because I have python 3 and list source py, and I haven't printed it, so let me print it over here, my list, save it, let's run the project. Okay, so as you can see we have 6 at the end which is not present over here, so it got appended from here. That means it got added in that list. Now let's say you want to remove a data from here. So for that we will use my list dot remove, and in remove we give it value. So I want to remove the first one, means like the data 1. So I'm going to put in 1, save and rerun the project, and as you can see 1 is gone from here. Now what if you want to access particular item of the list? So for that we have like this, so my list, and since I want to access only the first element of that list, so we access it by using the index. We put it a square bracket and then put the index inside this. Let's put this inside the print statement itself, or you know what, let's make it as first element. So first element is equal to this, and we will print first element. I will run it like this, and as you can see we get 2 because 1 is removed, so we get 2. And if you have to access all the data, like you want to access it like each and every data, so for that we can do is for loop. So I'm going to say for I in my list, and we will push the print inside this, and we'll print I over here. Save and run the project. As you can see we have data on the new line. That means it is accessing inside the for loop and printing every time. In the list, right, we can have duplicate data. So let's try to append one more 6 over here, and it is getting printed of course. So let me run it. So python 3.lists, and as you can see we have 26. So in list we can have multiple copies of single data. That is totally possible. And what if we wanted to check if a value is present in the list or not? So for that, let me comment this out actually, and we can say is present. And if I want to check, let's say number one in my list, whether it is present or not, and we will print is present. Save this and rerun the project. Let it is saying false because I have removed it over here. Let's check too. Save this and rerun, and as you can see we get true. So we are also able to check whether any data is present in the list or not. So this was the basics about list, our first data structure in Python. Now let's look at the tuples. So for that I'm going to create a new file, tuples.py, and we will create our first tuple. So tuple is encapsulated inside the circular bracket. So let's create our first tuple. I will again call it as fruits, and let's put the same thing. So here we use the syntax circular brackets, okay, and we say apple, then let's say again banana, and this is our first tuple. And yes, in order to verify it is a tuple, you can always use print type of this variable, which I have not shown in the previous one, tuple, and python 3, let's print tuples, and as you can see the class is of type tuple. Now let's create our tuple. So I'm going to call it as my tuple, and this will consist of 1 2 3 4 and 5. Of course put a space after that. And you can have also a mixed tuple, so let's call it as mixed. You can have everything like apple over here, 1 2 3, then true false, that is boolean type also. This is also totally possible, okay. So the one thing of tuple is we cannot add data into tuple or remove data from the tuple. We can only access it, and to access data in the tuple it is same thing. So I will say first element, I am going to extract the first element of this from my tuple, and to access data from here also we use the same way, square bracket, put the index of the element, so 0. I will comment these two, save, oops, we want tuple over here, save again, let me clear this and rerun, and as you can see we get the data 1. Now if you had to check any condition, let's say you wanted to check if 3 is present in this tuple or not. So for that all we had to do is, I'll call it as is present, this will store data, and I will say 4 in my tuple. So it will check whether this 4 number data is present in this tuple or not. So I will take this, print it, and it will give me true or false. So I get true, that means it is present. Now let's say I'm printing 7 in my tuple, that means I'm checking whether 7 is in my tuple or not. So let's save and run, and as you can see it gives me false. One of the important things of tuple is that it is ordered. So when we declare this in this particular order, right, it will maintain this order throughout the program. Now let's look at set. So let's start by declaring our first set, and I'll call it as fruits again. You can declare it like this by putting curly braces, okay. And over here in this we put in double quotes or single quotes, whatever you like. We will call it as apple, then comma separated banana. So this is our first set, and we can of course check the type of this. So we will say type and fruits. Let's save this, python 3 and sets, and as you can see this is called a set. The class is set of this. Now we can have our first, of course our first set. So my set I will call it as, and we will have 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. Let's have it this much only. Now we can have also mixed type of set, so I will call it as mixed, and over here we will have, first we'll have 1, let's put it that way, then we'll have apple, and so on. Okay, so like this we can have even the mixed type of set, and that is also possible. Now in this set we can add and remove data, so this is different from tuples. So let's add a data over here, 5 number. Okay, so my set dot add whatever the data you want to add. I want to add 5, right? So I have put 5 over here. This is the value, and in the print we are going to use my set. Let's save and run the project, and as you can see we are getting 5 number over here. Now if you want to remove from here, you can check my set dot remove, and in this whatever value you want to put, let's say we want to remove 1, value 1, not index 1, value 1. So I'm putting that and rerun the project. As you can see the data, the value 1 is disappeared. Now in order to access data from the set, it is very similar to list itself. So we will do a for loop for I in my set, and I will say I over here and a tab space, rerun the project, and as you can see all of them are printed on the next line. So that means in for loop we were able to access data one by one. Now let's say you want to check whether a data is present in this or not. I will comment this out, and again we'll check is present. Let's say we want to check number 3 in my set. We do it like this only, 3 in my set, and we will print it is present. Save, run the project, and as you can see we are getting true. Now what if we say number 7, which is not present in this set? Then it will give us false, as you can see. But you know one thing of set is, let me print the set. Okay, and please note it is 1 2 3 4 and 5. Now if I print the set, right now it is coming like this in same order as what we have declared, but sets are unordered, which means we won't have any specific order. Tomorrow we might get data as like 5 2 3 4, any random order of this. But one good thing of set is, let's say we have this, right, 1 2 3 4, and we are trying to add one more, that is by number value 1, and if I print this, let me comment this out, sorry, and if I print this, you can see it has number 1 only one time, which is like we cannot have repetitive data in set. So that is one of the unique feature of set, and it can come in handy anytime because of this. Now let's go to dictionaries. Let's start by creating our first dictionary, and this will be little different from the previous one because it is dictionary, of course. So I will call it as person instead of fruits, and every dictionary declaration is again into curly braces, but here we will have key and value pair. So here a key will come, key, and is to, then value will come. So this is the syntax of dictionary, where we have curly braces, inside that we have key, is to, value. So every key is paired with a value. It can be just string, it can be, let's say, numbers, or it can be list, anything, or even set and tuple. That is also totally possible. Okay, everything, and that too can be mixed. So this is how our dictionary is declared. Now let's say we have our key as name. My name is Shubham, so I will use Shubham over here. You can replace it by your name. Then we have age, and my age is 27. Then we have hobbies, and hobbies I'll put it as list, and first hobby I will say is coding, of course. Content making, content creation, let's call it that. Yeah, these two are my hobbies, let's say that. Now we can as you saw, we can have dictionary with multiple type of data. Here I have first a string, then I have 27, that means number, then we have of type list, and we can update this also. Let's say my name, okay, I want to update this name to be my full name. Okay, so I will call it as person, and in order to access this name, right, I'm going to use square bracket, in that double quotes, and inside this the key name. So key name is name, I'm going to use this you can use to print also data. Let me show you that quickly. Print, so python 3, and I will call dictionary, and as you can see it prints me data, and same way can be used to redeclare the data. So I will say Shubham Jha. Let's run it, and we need to print, of course, so print the person dictionary. So let's run it, and as you can see now name is Shubham Jha, so which means we can update data in dictionary. But what if we want to have duplicate data? Is it possible? Do you think it is possible? Well, it is not. Let me show you. Actually we have tried over here. So if we had to declare a duplicate data, right, we would have used the key and we would have tried this, but it did not work. And what if we try to declare it over here itself? Let's say code with sj, save and run the project, and as you can see the name gets replaced over here. What if I comment this out? Then as you can see, whatever is the last is taken as that keys value, so this one. So repetitive is not allowed in this. Now if you want to check certain data, like let's say if name is present in this or not. Now if we want to delete any data from here, so in order to delete that, we use del, delete key, dictionary name, then whatever the key you want to delete. I want to delete age, actually I want to delete hobbies, so let me delete hobbies. I have deleted it over here, save it, and we will run this, and as you can see hobbies is gone from here. So this is how we can remove the data from the dictionary. Now we want to check if any particular key is present in the dictionary or not. So I will call it as is present, and we will use name. So name in person. I will check this and we will print this over here, save and run the project. As you can see it says true. Is my address present? Let's check that. And as you can see false. That means it can check whether key is present in this or not. Now what if we want to only get the list of keys from here? So that is also totally possible, and I will call it as keys over here. And for that we are going to use the dictionary name, dictionary dot keys, and open close brackets. This will give us list of dictionaries. So I will save this and let's run, and as you can see we have dictionaries. Now what if we want only the values? So for that also, that is also possible. For that we just have to use, let me copy paste it, we'll call values, and here also person dot values, and this is also possible. Sorry, let's print the value, and as you can see we have only the values in hand. Now you might want to access particular list, key and data as per your convenience in for loop. So for that what we can do is, for, you can say key comma value in dictionary name, that is person dot items. If you use this, you will have key and the value in hand. So let's print key first over here, and we will say comma separate, let's put it like this. Of course you can use f string over here, but I want to show you all this way of printing also, where we have multiple data to be printed. So if there is any variable, that variable name, comma separated. If there is any string, then use the string, comma, and then again variable name. Let's print this, and as you can see, name is Shubham and Shubham Jha and age is 27. So we can access data like this also. One important thing of dictionary is that it does not have any order. Today it is printing in this order, and next time when program runs, it might print in a different order totally. Data structure is very powerful tool in Python, and it helps us manage the data efficiently throughout the program. By learning these data structures, list, set, tuple and dictionary, you open the door to huge potential where you can create programs very efficiently and manage the data. Now I have a challenge for you. You have to create a program using sets to find the unique words in a sentence and comment down that code. And I'll see you in the next one.